Have you ever walked into a room and felt instantly drawn to a woman just because of her presence? In this video, I'm going to share with you how to cultivate this kind of feminine energy and feminine magnetism from within. This video is part of the Magnetic Woman series, so if you have not seen part 1 and 2, I will link it down below so that you can watch it. It was more about confident body language, gestures, and also how to captivate, especially with your eyes and with your hands and how you position yourself. In this video, I will go deeper because feminine magnetism, indeed, it actually starts with your inner state. You can do a lot with your body language. If your inner state is blocked, you will not project this feminine energy and this feminine magnetism that you see in specific women and that you cannot really describe. So we will start with the first part, the nervous system regulation. I consider the nervous system regulation one of the most important things for us women. Unfortunately, it is the case that we as women, we are often worried, we are often anxious and stressed. And this is our nervous system, because most of us are drawn into situations in daily life, in relationships that really stress us out and that have a different effect on our nervous system than on the male nervous system. And it shows especially in our energy. So the first thing that you have to do in order to even be able to radiate feminine energy and magnetism is regulating your nervous system. And that means, for the biggest part, you have to feel safe in your body. And so others around you will also feel safe and they will feel drawn to you. So I will give you one specific technique, one practical tip for how to do that before you, for example, enter a room or some kind of situation. And that has to do with breathing, with belly breathing. I have talked about belly breathing in some other videos, but this is a technique that will regulate your nervous system. And just to do a very quick belly breathing, I would recommend you to take 3 to 5 deep breaths into your belly before you enter a room. Close your eyes and combine that with telling yourself an affirmation. Something that gives you a good feeling and makes you feel safer in your body. It can be even the sentence, I am safe, but it can also be something like, I am confident or I am beautiful. And then you enter. This is very quick practical tip, but it is easy to do and it doesn't require so much time. But on the long run, in order to regulate your nervous system, I would recommend you techniques such as meditating. So really meditation, breathing in general. You can do different breathing exercises and also activities, things that bring you into the body, so out of your head, something like dancing. And the cue is to really focus on your body so much and be so aware of it that you defocus from your anxious thoughts and your stresses and the things that are going on in your mind, because those are the ones who are making your energy tense. So this is something that you can do in the long run. And now we will go on to point number 2, which is also important, and it is allowing energy. We can also call it inner receptivity. What is it? Maybe you have already heard about feminine energy, and that feminine energy is a receiving energy, while the masculine energy is a giving energy. And it is not only being receptive to the outside, but also being receptive to the inside. So accepting yourself, for example. So what it is about is being open and not being controlling to what is coming towards you. Many women are really focused on performing and they tense up. But the more you accept what is and accept yourself, the more captivating and magnetic you will become. You will become softer in your whole energy. What it is also about is authenticity. People are drawn to authenticity, and that means that if you are authentic, accept yourself as you are and make the best of yourself, that means that you will also become magnetic, because you will not try to perform some kind of other role. So a practical tip for this would be mirror work, for example. That means you look into your mirror and then you tell yourself, by looking at yourself, 3 things that you love about your presence. And those should not be things that have to do with your outer appearance, I mean with your looks, but this could be things such as your warmth, your curiosity, your grace, things like that. If you focus on that more than focusing on being like someone else, you will become more authentic. And with becoming more authentic, you will become more magnetic. Number 3 is the energy direction. That's also an important part that many of us don't think about. And it means, where are you putting your energy towards? In which direction? Because the thing is that many women, because they are so concerned about how they look, how they are perceived, they are focusing their energy inwards when they enter a room or when they are somewhere. But that blocks magnetism. That blocks this presence. Because feminine presence is magnetic for the reason that it is focused outwards and not inwards. And when you worry about yourself, your energy collapses inwards. But when your awareness is on others, for example, you focus on the person that you are with or the persons that you are seeing, when you are listening in an attentive way, smiling softly, you become captivating. I would recommend you, as a practical tip, when you are in conversation with someone or entering a room or with other people, focus 70% of your energy, of your attention, towards the others or the other, and 30% on your body language. That's basically what I mostly do. And with me it's even sometimes a little bit too much, because when I'm talking to someone or when I'm with someone in a place, such as, for example, a restaurant, I'm so focused on the other person that I mostly don't even perceive what is happening around me. And this is something that I have to work on a little bit, because I think it's also important to know what is happening around you. Of course, you shouldn't be like looking around all the time, but I'm like in a tunnel. And that's maybe a little bit too much, but 70% focusing on the other person, being an active listener, etc., is good. And then, as I said, the other 30% focusing a little bit on your body language, your gestures, what I have taught you in my last videos. And you will be very magnetic and captivating that way. Number 4 is the secret of the silent power. Women that are magnetic often don't say much. Just think about one example that directly comes into my mind, Monica Bellucci, for example. But I know such women in real life too. And the thing is, there is something mysterious about pauses, about silence. And the thing is that those magnetic women are not afraid of silence. So pausing before answering, smiling before speaking, and also walking into a room without rushing is all very magnetic. Micro pauses in your conversations really create a magnetic pull. People become more attentive, they become more interested in you, and they put more importance in what you are saying. So don't be afraid of silence, don't be afraid of pauses, and really take it a little bit slower. By the way, in the end of this video, I will make a big summary. Well, not a big summary, but I will summarize all the points that are important for entering a room and becoming magnetic. So it's like a little roadmap for you, and so stay until the end. But before that, I have one last point that is very deep and very important. But I have to tell you that because this might strongly block you from being magnetic or from radiating feminine energy, and that's the shadow integration. I'm sure you have already heard about shadow work and things like that. I mean, this goes very deep. What is meant here, I will just break it down very superficially, but something that you can directly work with is accepting all parts of yourself. We have already talked about self-acceptance with regard to being authentic, But here it goes a little bit deeper, because every one of us has parts that we like about us and parts that we actually don't like about us, that we sometimes struggle with, that we actually don't find good, but we have them. Let me think about just some kind of example. For example, one woman might not like her part of being very sensitive. Okay, this can actually also be something positive, but being maybe too sensitive, something that actually harms her or blocks her, and she wishes not to be sensitive and just be a little bit more indifferent. That would make her life much more easier, and she struggles with that. But the thing is, if you are, let's say, sensitive, you cannot do anything about that. That's your essence. So accepting this shadow, so-called shadow, would help you to become more soft and therefore become more authentic and magnetic. Or another example could be maybe something more practical, such as a woman who might like, let's say, luxury. We're here on a feminine channel, so I think this might apply to many women who like elegance. It also applies to me. But then at the same time, there are sides in that woman that are extremely deep, that are not superficial at all, that she loves about herself. But then this thing about liking also material things or enjoying them might give her a bad feeling, because she thinks, how does that align? Why do I like that so much? Why do I enjoy that so much? It's not important. There are much more important things in life: health, love, friendship, family. But the thing is, if that's a part of you, you don't have to feel bad for it. And this is something that I have also accepted about myself. Yes, it is important for me. I love it. It makes me happy. I know it is not the most important thing. It is not even on the top 3 of important things in life. Absolutely not. But if someone likes beautiful things, if someone likes elegance, it is acceptable. And to accept also those parts that maybe through society or people or cultures or maybe your family or whatever have been judged as being bad, that's what led to you thinking that this part of you is a shadow actually, and you actually don't like it, and maybe you shouldn't be like that. That leads to blocks or yourself not being authentic, denying things about yourself that you can accept. It's nothing bad. So accepting those shadows, and of course there are also other shadows that are more shadow-like, and maybe if they are really harming other people, you should work on them. But I'm talking about, those kind of shadows that I have talked about, that are rather harming yourself or blocking yourself, or are just judged by society. Accepting those shadows will be crucial for you becoming authentic, becoming feminine, wholesome, fully embodied in your femininity. If you reach that point, you'll finally become free, and this will give you this magnetism, together with the other parts that you can work on, body language and etc. Because, my dear viewers, the secret is feminine magnetism, and this kind of energy that draws other people in is not about adding something. It is rather about removing things that block you, that block your natural radiance, because this natural radiance should actually come from within, and every woman has it. In the end, when you feel safe, when you feel authentic and fully embodied in your femininity, people can't help but feeling drawn to you. So here is your roadmap, the summary, together with some practical tips and my psychological deeper hacks. Your eyes. This is something that we've discussed in part 1. Steady, warm and relaxed eye contact is important. An upright and graceful body language. Slow movements, no stiffness, energy direction. Shift your energy outwards. The power of silence. Walk in a room calmly, look around with ease, smile before speaking. And not to forget our last point, the shadow integration. Accept all parts of you and you will radiate wholeness. Always remember this. Feminine energy, feminine power. This is about allowing. And now my last sentence to remember for you, for this part. The most captivating feminine presence is authentic. Thank you for watching and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.